What we did earlier was everything on the left. And on this second part, I'm going to show you just the difference between relative and absolute reference. I'm going to multiply the value in the A cell times the value in the B cell and get my answer here, the product, like A times B or 1 times 6. So I'm going to do that here, and I show you relative referencing. If I want to put in my own equation, remember I always have to start with the equal sign, and then I click on the first one I want, and then the times is shift asterisk or shift 8. If you hit shift and then 8, that's the asterisk, that's the times, and then B. So what I have, you can see in blue is 1 times, and 3 is 6. And if I click on enter, it's going to give me the answer. 1 times 6 is 6. Now, since I want the same type equation, I want to multiply A times B and get the answer here for each of these. This A, that B, this A, that B, all the way down. To copy that, if I just copy this, I'm going to left click on this lower right hand corner when I get the black little cross. I left click and just drag that down one. Notice on this first one, I've got M3 times N3. That's 3. The next one is cell 4, and that is M4 times N4. So it went from 3 to 4. If I go to the next one, it will do 5, 6, and 7. 7 times 7 is M7 times N Nancy 7. So I'm just going to copy these all the way down. I'm going to left click. I get that little black X across on the lower lower right hand corner. Hold, left click, hold, and just drag those down. And now I've got each of these, and it incremented. It went from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because Excel knows I want to copy wherever I am, whatever row I'm on, and I want to copy A, or copy the equation for A times B. Well, to do that, it has to know that it's in row 5, so it has to say row 5. Here it has to know, it knows I'm in row 6, so it has to multiply the two row 6 numbers together. That's fine for this, but what if I want to multiply what's in A times what's in B, and there's only one B? I want to multiply everything in A times B. Well, I can do that. I start out the very same way. I go equals, and then I click on what's in my A, and times, which is shift 8 or the asterisk, and then what's in my B, and that'll be 1 times 8, and that will be 8. Now, relative reference will give me wrong answers if I try that, because it's going to multiply what's here times what's here. If I go down to 1, it's going to try to multiply what's here times what's in there. And so if I do that, if I copy this down 1, I'm going to get a 0. Well, why did it give me a 0? Well, let's see what it's doing. It's trying to multiply this 2 by what's in here, which is nothing. Because it goes, well, that must be a 0. I'll give you a 0. And it will make this all a 0. And that's because it's multiplying, again, what's in the A column times what's in the B column. We don't want that. We want what's in this B column. And I'm going to mark that, make that blue. So I've got to get rid of these. What I need is to make this static. This column never changes. So if I'm here in my equation and I click on up here, I've got Q3 times R3. This R3 can never change. Everything is going to be multiplied by this R3. And if I want to know what cell that's in, I click in it and it's R3. If I want to know what cell this is, I click in it and it's Q3. So this equation multiplies Q3 times R3, 1 times 8. Now I want to multiply 2 times 8, and then 3 times 8, 4 times 8, 5 times 8. So the 8 never changes. To do that, I have to do something special. I have to make that 8 an absolute value or a static value that it never changes. So what I do is, first of all, I click in my equation. I have to have an equation that works. And then I click on the front of that R3. That's the one going to be the one that's static. So I click right in the front of it. And you can see my cursor there, right in front of the R. And I hit my function key F4. And look, that puts a $ in front of the R and a $ in front of the 3. Now I can click enter. And when I look at that, I've got the same equation, but B will never change, so the number that's in B. Now when I copy this down, it will multiply 2 times 8 to give me 16. Let's copy that down. 2 times 8 is 16. If I click on that cell and click on that, sure enough, it's multiplying 2 times 8. So when I made R3 static with that $ in front of the R, $ in front of the 3, it will never change. And I can do the rest of them. 3 times 8 would be 24, and all the way down. 5 times 8 is 40. So again, when I click on this one and then click up in my equation up here, it shows me that I'm multiplying 5 times 8, 40. And that's why this has become an absolute reference or a static cell. And I think that's all we have for today.